What does it mean to make 2024 the best year of your life? In this video, I'm going to be showing you my ironclad self-improvement approach that I'm planning to use to make 2024 the best year of my life, so that you too can also do the same. My name is Nnamdi and welcome to my channel. Every 31st of December to 1st of January, a lot of people, by way of wanting to reflect on what they have achieved in the past, always want to set a new year calendar, which always comes out as a new year resolution. And so more oftentimes people want to make adequate improvement in those areas. And sometimes without proper plan, without execution, it doesn't get to come to fruition. And that's the challenge and the disconnect people have. So few months down the line, you find that a lot of people have dropped out on what they actually planned that they were going to do in the year 2024. So we are going to be looking at all these through the various approaches that I intend to share with you, and it's going to be how do we track this progress. The first important part that I'm going to be looking at is what are the pursuits and what are the things that you are interested in going into the new year. And secondly, how do you strike a balance? And thirdly, how do you find happiness with your pursuits and also striking the balance? There are three very important areas that I want to make improvement in my life come 2024, and those areas are actually prioritized. And the first one is my work, and in my work I'm going to be looking at my mission, my money, and my growth. And secondly, I'm going to be looking at my body and life, and in my body I'll be looking at my body, my mind, and my spirituality. And the third one that I'll be looking at is my relationship. And that relationship goes to my friends, my family, my co-workers, or whoever I'm going to be involved in doing any business with. So improving areas of your money, your growth, it requires a holistic perspective, because when you want to make any change in life, you need to plan properly. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's an interesting saying, an interesting quote I love so much. And when you look at your mission, it's important that when you are setting out your mission, you should look at your values. What are the things that you are passionate about? What are these areas that you would like to improve on? And how do they align with what seeps through, what speaks to you as a human being? And if all these things are put in place, then it becomes a lot easier for you to grow. Like a part of the company that I work in, a part of the mission that we're going to be looking at going forward in the year is how do we help people live an active life so that they avoid relying on pain medications, injections, or have to do with surgery. So these are very important things that we are passionate about, and it's going to help us whenever we are making plans for the new year, because sticking with all these things helps us grow. And looking at it in the way that would make sense will be, if your values align with your passion, then it's a lot easier for you to execute for longer. Now with money, a lot of us struggle with understanding the core concept of money. It's not our fault we are not taught about money in school, and that is where it all comes out to. How do we improve on our knowledge about money? How do we gain financial literacy? You should be able to look at money in different perspectives. For example, in line with your growth and in line with what you want to achieve, how do you make more money? Because you need to make more money, and your ability to make more money requires you acquiring more skills. Like I'm trying to learn a new skill when I said I was going to be a content creator and start to make YouTube videos like this. So now we are looking at making more of these videos to be able to pass more information for people who might be interested, and ultimately gain more interest in wanting to also develop a skill that will be more like a side hustle that can also help them generate money. Learning how to budget is important. We are all in a space where you need to adequately plan your finances. because if you don't plan your finances properly, you could fall into debt, and that is not what you will want to be going into the new year with. If you are planning your budget properly, you should do it in such a way that takes care of how much it is that you are getting, track your expenses, track how your income comes, so that whenever you are making plans, it doesn't get truncated halfway. Another part of it is investing. We need to look at investing in different ways, because if you invest properly, you don't just build wealth with the amount of income you are getting, but out of your investment. So even if you have good knowledge about money and you are able to build multiple streams of income, where it becomes a lot more important for you now is how do you invest some of this money that you have made. So if you are investing in a way that actually builds your wealth in the future, that becomes an interesting process for you. And when the process is that interesting, it becomes a lot easier for you to carry on going down the line. And another part is growth. We need to look at ourselves as people who are always constantly innovating and growing. If you are innovating and growing, then it becomes a lot easier for you to build on your curiosity, because I, for example, decided that I was going to be learning how to do software development, learning how to code, because I was too curious about computers and wanting to know how computers actually communicate to be able to provide meaningful solutions to the problems that we have in the world. So it's one thing that I've decided to want to do, and I'm open to always learning. So if you don't learn, you will continue to be stunted in where you are, and a mind that doesn't want to learn will ultimately start to die. Now, another aspect that I want us to look at is your body and life. And your body and life is going to be covering your body, your physical body, your mind, and your spirituality. What's important is we have this body and we need to be able to maintain it so that it can also serve us properly. Regular exercises always come in handy. Are you exercising frequently? Are you exercising based off of the recommendations that we have with living an active and a healthy life? Once you are doing that, then we should aim for an improvement in our cardiovascular exercise, aim for an improvement in our strength training and flexibility. That put together will ultimately help us to have that strong body so that we can carry about our year. And it's also very interesting to note that not just exercising, but healthy eating has a way of helping us, become more aware, become more active, become more agile. Because what you eat is a reflection of what you become. So what you consume will determine your productivity in the day. So when you consume, for example, you might consume a kind of food that will lead you to start to sleep, and when that happens, it becomes a lot difficult to be as productive as you are. So watch your diet, not for the sake of wanting to eat certain food, but to eat the right food that will actually guarantee your growth and also fight off unwanted diseases like cardiovascular diseases. One of my goals will be to lose more weight, become leaner, and grow more muscles. So I'm going to be working on my diet, and I'm going to be having routines and timetables, learning proper meal preps for different diets that are not that I'm not used to, and that is going to be part of my goals and how I want to build some of all this things going down the line. Then it's very important because often we tend to overlook our sleep. A friend of mine will say when he dies, he will start to sleep. But if you don't sleep properly, your productivity is ultimately going to be dropping, and that can actually truncate your plans to want to grow in 2024. Then the frequent advice will be aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day, because the more you sleep, the more you wake up more prepared for the next day. And when you wake up more prepared for the next day, it becomes a lot easier for you to grow. Now, very importantly, your spirituality. How close are you to your faith? What you believe in? How do you align your beliefs to what you want to achieve? We have different beliefs, and it's important to note that a lot of people have different ways that they express their beliefs. For example, a Christian may have a different way he wants to do it than a Muslim, and a Jewish. So many people have different ways. We all know what guides us and what we believe in and what sets us. So if you are struggling in this area of your life, it's important to seek guidance. Seek to interact with your spiritual leaders. They can provide more clarity for you, so that when you are embarking on this journey, it is always easy, and it becomes easier for you to get everything that you need to guarantee a safe movement into the realm that seeks to connect you with your Creator. Most importantly, we will be looking at an area of your relationship. In your relationship with your friends and family, we need to understand that even though when we get to start working so much, a lot of us tend to forget that we have families at home. We have friends that we tend to look up with. I know with entrepreneurs and with people who want to start something new, you may want to fall into that trap of isolating yourself from a lot of people. But that may not be the best way to grow, because you need these people in your life to be able to hold you accountable. You need the extra support that comes in with your relationship with your family, your friends. Family and friends are very important in your journey, and you should get them into the mix of what you actually want to do. Now, very important is there are different ways whereby you can build that commitment. And number one is having an open communication and being able to express your vulnerabilities and being able to build more trust and connection with your significant others. So you need to create more time to spend with them. Quality time can never be overemphasized when it comes to spending time with your friends and your family, especially people who become your support system. It's important that once we've been able to look at all these areas, calibrating and monitoring them is also an important aspect that we do not need to miss out on. So documenting the process on one hand and having a review on the other hand, these are areas that will help hold you accountable. Accountability will ultimately help you grow. Now, at every point, it is important that you document your journey. According to Gianfranco Iovino, he stated that words add meaning to life, and writing gives our thought meaning forever. Whatever you write is what you remember more. But Einstein will also say that you do not need to memorize what you can always look up, and ultimately what you have been able to write down is what you can easily look up to. So looking at all these things will now help you with better clarity as per the purpose, as per the level, as per the improvements that you are making. Putting them into this perspective will make your new year, your new plans, your new vision and your mission easy and worthwhile. Now, the most important part of all this journey is in whatever pursuits and whatever balance that you are trying to achieve, you should strive for happiness. If whatever it is that you are doing does not guarantee you happiness, then you ultimately lose interest halfway. And lack of happiness, lack of interest, and lack of excitement is often one of the reasons why people drop off from their resolution or the plans that they want to make. If you are actually struggling with wanting to have a better new year or new plans for the upcoming year, I want you to be able to go through this video again, outline all the areas that you feel will make lots of progress for you. Identify them. You may not follow by direct practice, but it's also important to outline whatever it is you want to do in different significant areas of your life that you need improvement in. So friends, this is my ironclad approach for building self-improvement and growth in 2024 so that I will make it my best year ever. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you are new to my channel, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much for your time, and make it a blessed year.